It's day 3 of the Hero Hockey Champions Trophy, and it's make or break for Great Britain. They are up against Korea. Pushed back in just a few moments. Great Britain, desperate for a win, are a disappointing defeat against India. It's a little bit wet, it's a little bit damp, but the fans don't care because GB are in action. Let's join our commentary team, Simon Mason and Charlie Broom.
Match day 3 of the Men's Hero Hockey Champions Trophy, and it's a crucial day for the hosts in their 3rd match of the tournament as they take on Korea. Korea sits mid-table, having beaten Belgium in their first match and gone down fighting against Australia in the last match on Saturday, eventually succumbing by 4 goals to 2. Great Britain, on the other hand, find themselves in the last chance saloon. Having drawn their opener against Australia, they lost 2-1 to India in their second match, meaning they must take maximum points from their 3 remaining matches and hope some other results go their way if they are to have any chance of playing in the gold medal match, the last match, of course, of this tournament on Friday. So the teams are making their way out onto the park, and we'll have the national anthems of both countries, starting with Korea and then the national anthem of Great Britain.
The 100th appearance for his country, the Great Britain's Henry Weir. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please will you stand for the national anthem of Korea. And please remain standing for the national anthem of Great Britain.
Plenty of school children in the crowd here today and a good rendition of the Great Britain national anthem. This is the 4th meeting between the 2 sides in Champions Trophy history, with both sides claiming 1 win and a draw also in the record books. The last meeting was back in 2011 in Auckland, when Great Britain won by 4 goals to 3. Okay, let's have a look at the 2 team sheets, and we will start with Great Britain, and it is a 50th Great Britain cap for Dan Fox, number 27 today, so congratulations to him on that milestone. But the concerning thing for Great Britain is 1 goal in 2 games. It's just not good enough at this level, and they need to find the answer to that problem, and they need to find it fast. As for Korea, well, they have 12 players in their squad yet to reach 50 caps, so a lot rests on the 3 players that have played over 200 times for their country. Number 2, Seo Jong-ho, number 4, Lee Nam-yong, and Yoo Hyo-sik, the skipper. So let's have a look at the substitute bench, and we mentioned Henry Weir winning his 100th cap. Well, it's 79 England caps and 21 Great Britain caps that make up his 100, but he starts on the bench, number 6. So Korea, who many thought would struggle here, find themselves third in the table after an excellent opening day win against Belgium. And George Pinner and the Great Britain team need to come out all guns firing. They started very well against India but couldn't get that early goal to give them the confidence. They need to try and dictate this game, dictate the pace, but most importantly from a British point of view, they need the 3 points. So here we go, Korea getting us underway on match day 3 of this Hero Hockey Champions Trophy in the white and dark shorts, attacking the goal away to our left-hand side. Great Britain have changed back to the red shirts, and I'm delighted to say that alongside me in the commentary box for this one is the 3-time Great Britain Olympian, Simon Mason. Simon, a lot has been talked about in the pre-show about Great Britain needing to win this. How do they go about it against this Korean side?
Well, Charlie, thanks very much. Good afternoon, everybody. And it's for Great Britain, it's very much a case of how do you combine patience with intensity? The Koreans will sit deep, they'll pack an 8, 9, 10 man-to-man defence, but Great Britain still needs to be patient, not force it, but they still need to play quickly.
Unable to keep the ball in. And the Koreans will build the ball around the back into the middle, and you can see Great Britain starting to press. There's almost a 4-man press at the very start of this match for them. Down the line they go, and our umpires, Raghu Prasad from India, and at the other end in the little box, Jakub Meslik from the Czech Republic, and David Tomlinson from New Zealand is the video umpire, should we require him today. And the ball now on the right-hand side for Korea. And Lee Dayol play it around the back, and this is Yang Ji-hun to Lee Yun-chan. Just see the results from match day 2 ticking across the bottom of your screen. And that result there, the India 2, Great Britain 1, the reason why Great Britain are in such a hole.
One of the reasons that Great Britain are in that hole, Charlie, is very much what Barry Middleton and Bobby Crutchley have talked about, is that they don't feel they've got the aggression, the attention to the ball carrier as much as they'd like. They need to be very aggressive, stepping out, denying easy ball into the heart of their defence.
But they're lacking that cutting edge up front at the moment for whatever reason it is, and it is not just in this event, because in Australia, and we'll just hold that thought as Jackson finds Middleton into the circle, but right on the line, and well, Jackson needlessly running into Kang Mung-yu.
Was not that bad.
That's a lovely little pop pass that went to Middleton, and then Middleton went into the circle. Jackson, yeah, just going in a little bit aggressively.
But as I was saying, it's not just in this tournament, in the 3-test match series, and we'll get this point away in a minute, but good tackle by Lewis. In the 3-match test series against Australia, in Western Australia, as Lewis comes to Great Britain's rescue again. In the 3rd test, they lost it 5-1, but they dominated the first half, Great Britain, and went in at half-time 2-1 down. So it's something they've got to try and find the answer to.
It's been quite interesting in this tournament as a whole. A couple of teams have said in interviews and in post-match chats that they're disappointed just with their outcomes. They're getting into the circle, the Australians particularly, as well as Great Britain, creating lots of opportunities, but they're just not putting them away. And I guess that's fine if you're looking at a longer-term build-up at the Olympics, but right now it's not helping anyone.
Well, you're also running out of time to find the answer, because, as we know, we're coming up to the 50 days to go. Korea, the only side not in the Olympic Games here in London. Not this tournament here in London, as Great Britain clear, and here is Mantel. Mantel bundled over, but quickly takes it and finds Gleghorn, who gives it back to Mantel. Fortunately for him, Fox is on the outside. Mantel has it once again on the 23, and has that gone against Mantel?
It's gone against Mantel, and it felt that Mantel was off balance, but Meslik deciding that it was, as he span, he didn't have anywhere to go, and he's just bundled over Sio, shoulder to shoulder. A little bit harsh. I don't think it needed the blow that it's got.
Korea have possession with Mai Young-suk. Kang up the line now to Bay. And that's just run out of play.
Okay, now it's enough, yeah?
I'm talking about the Olympics. First time that Korea failed to make the Olympics since Atlanta in '96.
There was such a dominant side in that period through 96, 2000. 2000, I think, got a silver medal. They were just one of the world's best offensive teams.
And that is an ugly-looking tackle from Yu Seung-ju. Oh my lord, and he's got a yellow card to boot as well. Well, it's things like that where you go to ground, you're always going to be in trouble.
Yeah, and the umpires have been very clear in terms of players. If they make the choice, and he has chosen to go to ground, and they create contact, it's hit his body, that is the rules. It sounds like in our headset, that's a 10-minute yellow, I think I heard, but we'll get confirmation in a minute. But it's a very, very simple rule. If you go to ground and the ball hits your body, you are going to be penalised.
Well, if it is 10 minutes, we'll wait for confirmation. That is the rest of the quarter.
Where do we go to? Yep. Play!
So, good chance for Great Britain. Jackson into the keeper. It's in front of the keeper.
From your stick.
And it's up off a Great Britain stick. Up off David Condon, I think.
I'll also be interested, Charlie. We'll see now. Did this go out the D? It's only just, isn't it? It's so close. The teams are trying to get such a small margin, as close to the line as they possibly can to get the shot away.
So confirmed, it is a 10-minute yellow card for Yu Seung-ju. So Korea playing with 10 men for the rest of this quarter.
Well, they talk about the fine percentages between success and failure. The difficulty now for Korea is how much will that take out of the rest of the squad. They will rotate to cover it, but you're all going to have to do that little bit more running. Fatigue will start to kick in just that fraction earlier.
Well, listen, we see in many other sports, on occasion, the team with a player less coming up with some remarkable results. You only have to look over the weekend with Ireland in the rugby union claiming a first win on South African soil, playing from the 26th minute onward with 14 players.
Yeah, and you can get that. You kind of get that mentality. You know what? Everything's against us. We're just going to find that little bit extra, and nobody has an explanation of where it comes from. And also, in a game like this, then, if Great Britain perceive that there is a bit more space, they step forward a bit more aggressively. They actually lose that patience we talked about, and then the space is open for Korea.
Weir is on. So he can earn his 100th cap. Jackson into Martin. Martin with a little spin, finds Mikey Hoare. So Ian Lewis. Jackson. Shifted on by Dixon. And good attacking stuff. Here's a chance, and it's been mishit by Mantel. Unmarked, 4 or 5 yards out. He can't hit the target.
Mantel gets it from the goalkeeper, but he's pulled that, his body weight's away. He just needs to knock it across the far post. Gleghorn is standing there. Mantel just needed a little bit more composure. He's in so much space.
Bobby Crutchley disappointed, and the chat from the Great Britain team after that defeat to India. I mean, actually, Jackson called it embarrassing because they couldn't. They were getting into the circle, but they weren't taking the shots.
Yeah, it's what a ball that's 10 or 20 centimetres out of position, or your body position's not quite right. It's on your back foot, not your front foot. And they need to address this, as you say, Charlie. There isn't long to go until Rio, and yet there's some form issues. I don't think Jackson's been quite as dominant as we would expect to see him. Catlin's been quiet. A few people just need to find that little spark.
Jackson on the front foot, trying to pick out a diving Leghorn. Okay, I think we can cross now to our pitch side reporter, Mike Absalom, who's found someone for us. Mike.
Yeah, with Paul Lissick here, the head coach of Korea, you're down to 10 men now. How does that affect what you're doing tactically?
It was a hard decision for us. Maybe a wrong the player was not patient enough, so he was complaining something. But I think the decision was hard. But never mind, it's okay. They started well first 3-4 minutes and controlled the game, but now they're a little bit in trouble because of 9 against 10. It's always difficult. And that is now the problem. I hope we overcome this situation.
Hang in there.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, the 9 against 10 that Lissick is talking about is the 9 outfield players against 10, and Mantel
obstruction here, right there in the middle of the field.
Call for obstruction. And the aerial ball thrown, looking for Kim Joo-hun.
Simon.
Ames. Dixon.
Oh, Great Britain's discipline now must be to play the space, play width, 2 and 3 transfers, just to really pull the Korean deep defence side to side, wear them out. You've got a relatively long period of time to do this. Another 2 or 3 minutes of hard work and make the ball do the work, side to side across the pitch, and then the dividends will come.
Well, Ian Sloan guilty of giving possession away with a loose pass. And Korea have the ball just inside Great Britain territory. They now take round their back. Lee Dae-yul. And we'll look up, decides to go back to Hwang Tae-il. Lee Yun-chan, there's the 3 hits. Condon thinking that he'd taken it.
That's one of the few frustrations with that the umpires can alleviate just by simply making sure the free hit of the ball is stopped absolutely dead. Because otherwise, if it continues to roll forward as the players' eyes are up and they're looking for a pass, the defender who was originally 5 yards is no longer 5 yards, but of no fault of their own.
Fox at the line to Condon, and he had in front. Sam Ward trying to apply some pressure. Middleton finds himself leading the attack, and Ward has turned possession up high up the park, but just Ashley Jackson in that middle quarter of the park in the red shirt when that ball was played. Ames to Martin, nice shift from Martin. That one touch to control, the next to pass, and Jackson tries to find Martin on the return pass, but it's cut out by Korea. Jackson wings it back and then fires it reverse stick. Condon, beautiful control from Condon, because that pass had an awful lot of pace on it, and there's absolutely nobody outside Condon down this right-hand flank for Great Britain. Dixon's filling the void now, but it's played into the circle. Here's the chance, and a penalty stroke is given as Barry Middleton is wiped out by the keeper, Hong Duk-yu. Have another look at this on the right of screen.
Come through to Middleton, he picks and rolls, right leg into Middleton's knees, absolutely no doubt. Young's got that completely wrong. As he's come in, that needed to be a left leg lead, not a right leg lead, and in doing so, he's upended Middleton, and no doubt.
So it's Middleton against Hong.
I'll ask the question, should it have been a card as well?
And Jackson puts it into the top corner to give Great Britain the lead. His second of the tournament, Great Britain's second of the tournament. Korea 0, Great Britain 1.
He likes this corner, but that is emphatic. What a finish. That absolutely top corner. There is no stopping that. You'd have had to gone about 3 weeks ago to get to that top corner. Push off your right foot and drive, but not a chance.
So, Great Britain have the lead in a match they must win, and they get it just over 3 minutes from the quarter-time break, with Korea playing with 10 men. They played, what, 2/3 of this quarter with a player less. Jackson giving Great Britain the lead.
What do you think about that tackle? Card associated with it, or was the penalty stroke the decision?
Is the penalty stroke punishment enough?
I'm sure if people want to get involved, there's various hashtags around social media.
Yeah.
Feel free to get in touch with us.
Facebook
on that.
Yeah, our Facebook handle FI Hockey, Twitter at FIH_hockey, using the hashtag CT2016. Lovely little ball from Jackson to Middleton, and Middleton unable to find a way into the top of the circle. But
well, that's the interchange they've been missing, isn't it? It's absolutely fantastic. Just that knowledge of where your teammate is. You can pass blind. It's beautifully weighted from Jackson back to Middleton. And he was disappointed that he didn't manage to go down the left foot of the defender.
well, they play in the same team in the English Premier League. They also play for the same team in the Hockey India League, so they know each other's games inside out. You get one, you may as well get both of them.
Well, it's that instinctiveness that really shows when players work together so well, or when teams. I think back to the 2014 World Cup, Australia took the Netherlands apart in the final, and it was because every single pass just happened a fraction of a second before an opponent can do anything about it, and all of a sudden you're 10 metres up the field and the opponent's spinning on the spot, almost unaware of where the ball has ended up.
Dixon keeps it in from Sloane, turns it to Sloane. Sloane, well, gets another bite of the cherry. Good hand-eye coordination from both attacker and defender.
Play.
Here goes Ward into the circle. Mantell has a swing and a hit. And Great Britain are going to refer this.
Okay.
Mantell thinks he's hit it into the foot of the defender.
No. So, I need you for crowding. There were 3 of you around me, 3 of you.
Dixon's picked up a green card.
What's your question?
Ball's hit the Koreans first.
Okay,
Better be
good.
careful because it might be more.
We'll go back to
Come
the
on,
card
you
in a
there?
minute and explain why that was, but
Can you please check if there was a foot of a Korean player under the blue for the defense, because for me it was looking dangerous. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm looking for a Korean foot on the suit.
Yeah, thanks.
So let's have another look.
well, Mantell's reaction is immediate as it comes in. He swings at it here, contacts there, and I think that comes down off stick onto foot. Stick in there. There's the pop onto the toes, to me. Stick down onto foot.
That's exactly.
Oh, at the top
Does that
edge.
come down? It goes stick. Is that stick or shin pad? Is that stick?
Yeah, I think that's stick. Yeah, so it's come up off Mantell's stick into the body, so it's dangerous play, so the umpire was right.
Yeah, I'm with you, Charlie. I think Great Britain will lose their referral on that. I can't see that hitting the foot. It looked like it immediately. Mantell immediately asked.
Well, he can't really see Mantell because it's happening so quickly. We've got super slow-mo. I can't see a foot there. Here's the super slow-mo. Stick.
Yeah, I'll wait.
To me, there's no foot there. That's 3 sticks, and the final one is up off the leading edge of Mantell's stick, so it's lifted. Stick there, and that's lifted, which would be considered dangerous. So this should, in my opinion, go to Korea.
Okay, I think we're happy.
Yakub,
Yeah, go ahead, Tomo.
I see no clear reason to change your decision.
Okay, thanks. Wait.
So Great Britain lose their referral. They lose Adam Dixon for 2 minutes.
Yeah, so Dixon's been sin-binned for crowding the umpire. Jakub Mezek in an earlier game this tournament very, very assertively told a team that they had to back off. The teams have been told they cannot crowd the umpire.
There's no need to crowd the umpire because you say, well, we want to refer it. You don't need 4 people saying we're referring.
No, and that's just a little bit of hot-headedness, and unfortunately, Jakub Mezek has decided he's going to put a marker down very early in this game, and rightly so.
Well, you can see there, just below the Great Britain abbreviation at the bottom of your screen, the little green semicircle that's under Korea's has now gone red. That's because they've lost their referral. Jackson comes across to get it out of play.
That's fine. Good tackle.
10 seconds.
Now we're into the final throws, the final seconds of this opening quarter. Great Britain will bring it away. And Ward just runs it down the pitch. There is the quarter time hooter, and Ashley Jackson is the difference between the two sides. The penalty stroke won by Barry Middleton, but expertly converted by Jackson, means that after 15 minutes of play, the quarter time score reads Korea 0, Great Britain 1. Well, Bobby Crutchley will be happy that he's got the early goal, but there's still, obviously, as there is in all these things, a lot to work on.
Yeah, lots to work on. I mean, there was some great little interchange in that first quarter, but Great Britain probably, I think, had 3 or 4 attempts on goal that they didn't connect with. Jackson's ball in, fell to Middleton. He was upended by Hong completely for the penalty stroke. It falls to him, a little fortuitous, but poor Korea marking there in front of Middleton allows the ball to get to him.
Absolutely wiped out Middleton.
Yeah, you see that impact there. If that had been a player who caused that impact, you've got to suggest another penalty, but what a finish from Jackson. He loves opening his wrists up. That's where he scored when England won the European Cup in 2009. What a flick that was, and that's just a replica of it.
So the quarter-time talk has been given. Let's hear what he had to say. Bobby Crutchley is with Mike Absalom.
Bobby, what was said in that quarter-time talk?
Yeah, just a little bit about how we play against, obviously, when they're a man down, about how we want to do that tactically, and then just around the edge of the circle, a little bit more control. We obviously had a lot of good possession up there, a bit more control up there. I think we'll get better clear-cut chances.
Adam Dixon's off to start this quarter as well, so you are a man down also. How does that change your tactics?
Well, it just makes 70-10, so it's a bit open. We've just got to be careful on when players come back onto the pitch. We're aware of it, so we know if they have an extra player, how we're going to be ready to play.
Thanks for your time.
No problem.
So Korea get this second quarter underway, trailing by a goal to 0. Goal coming in the 12th minute, the penalty stroke spot. And Great Britain must win this game. They have to win all their 3 remaining games and hope that either India or Australia drop points in their last remaining games, and that is if they want to make the gold medal match. It doesn't happen very often. I can tell you, going through the record books, I can find it happening 4 times since 1991. That doesn't include the last edition. When it's been played like this, with a round-robin format and the top 2 teams going to the final 4 times since 91. Ball fired in between 91 and 2010.
Well, certainly the players that I've spoken to prefer this format. They feel that it's the pure format where the Champions Trophy identity started, that top 6 teams in the world. Yes, we get some wild cards because of hosts and various things, but in principle, that best of the best, the teams going head-to-head in that round-robin, every game matters, every game means something.
Lovely skill from Middleton, lovely individual flair from the Great Britain skipper. Lewis to Hall to Martin. Ames to Middleton. And Korea with full complement of players now, able to press higher up the park, but good work from Ames has turned them, and Martin returns the pass to Ames. Ames driving at the circle on the reversing side. Oh, what a goal!
What a goal!
David Condon getting on the end of a blistering attack that was started by Ames, intercepting the ball, got the pass back from Martin, fired it reverse stick across the circle, and David Condon sliding in makes it Korea 0, Great Britain 2, and that is a goal that can really lift the spirits of a team.
Well, the finish it's not easy, but it's put on a plate for Condon, but that goal started about 70 yards back down the pitch with some unbelievable skill from Middleton. All of a sudden, Ames popped it and ran. He finds the backhand. He delivers it exceptionally well. Condon just has to get a stick on it. Goalkeeper Hong nowhere near it. That's a brilliant goal.
Well, you say just had to get a stick on it, he then has to control it. It is a wonderful finish. It's a wonderful team goal for Great Britain. And could that be the moment that spurs them on in this competition?
Well, that's the patience we were talking about down underneath our commentary box on the defensive 25. Barry Middleton had the ball on the end of his stick with 3 and then 4 Koreans trying to win it off him, and he had nowhere to go. The Korean press was high, he couldn't drop it back to Lewis, and all of a sudden he had to take a little risk. The ball popped well for him, but then Ames delivered.
Oh, well, there you go. Middleton's just missed the ball. Commentator's curse from Simon Mason. And Korea have their first penalty corner of the match, indeed, the match's first penalty corner. So, Korea have 1 penalty corner to their name, goal to their name from the tournament. Yang Ji-hoon, number 6, scored on that occasion. Who's there now? Yu Seung-ju, number 8, Kang Moon-yu. Number 8, Kang to the right, number 3, Yu to the left. And it's gone to Yu, who flicks. Another penalty corner, Yaka Mesnik giving it. So Great Britain saying no, no, no.
Disengaged umpire, comes off the heel of Dan Fox, the number 1 runner. I'm sure what George Pennell was objecting to, because it's a clear foot to start with, deflecting it away from the Korean defence.
Again, really good, the 2 umpires working together. Kang and Yu once again. Again, Kang to the right, Yu to the left. And it's Yu once more. And they try to deflect it in at the near post. Lee Jung-jun was there to put in the deflection, but it just bobbled over the stick, did it?
Certainly seemed to. Out to the top, single castle, open wrist pull round for the tip, and he's missed it. And Pinner, you've got to give him credit, was on his line and saw it, but that should have been a shot on goal. Having said that, all Condon needs to do a minute ago is let the ball hit his stick. That's exactly the same thing. Just let it hit your stick.
Play, play!
Not as easy as you say, though.
Harder on the backhand, I've got to say.
So, Jackson, lovely little show that he was going to play it on the reverse stick, and well, it was bought hook, line and sinker by Lee Jung-jun. Here's Fox to Mantel. Mantel leaves it, picked up by Sloan. Sloan gets another chance, 1-2 off the Korean stick into the circle, and Mantel can't win possession back.
Well, this is Middleton when he was under pressure in the lead up to the goal. He's got nowhere to go, and he just pops the ball with the people around him. Ames then recovers it. Now they're away with Martin. Martin then finds Ames as he drives down the left. Looks up, he sees Condon, backhand, drills it. Condon on his nose. Brilliant finish.
Kang. Up the line to play. Kang. Nice ball out of the centre forward by Jung. Quickly taken down the sideline. And Korea wanting the free hit, but Nicky Ho not impeding Pang Tail enough for Wagyu Prasad to give the decision Korea's way.
No, then foolishly stick obstruction, it looked like.
Ball in. Long corner. To be taken by Jung Man-jae. Jackson upends his, Yu taking it on the end of his stick, still going Yu. Foot. Lewis not happy. They don't think it's gone 5, I don't think, Great Britain. Middleton saying don't refer it. Let's let's just get on and defend it.
Well, I think that's a very, very wise call, because you're talking about interpretation of distance. Whilst we've got this Hawkeye technology, and what, 9 cameras I think around, we haven't got some sort of laser pointer to establish what's spot on 5, so the umpires have got to use best judgment. So I wouldn't go video there. It's a lovely bit of skill to juggle. It makes it so difficult to tackle. Gleghorn finally pops in, then it comes out and just hits a foot inside the circle. Sloane's foot that gives away the corner.
Ready, guys?
So Kang and Yu have swapped castles. Kang number 8 now to the right as we're looking here, but it's gone to Yu, who's more central, and into Lewis, who can now hobble because the penalty corner has been given. We saw Barry Middleton yesterday taking one on the shoulder, didn't touch it at all until the referral had confirmed that there was a penalty stroke, and then he was rubbing that right shoulder because it really hurt.
Hard man, and what they're doing is they're putting barriers down. So Lewis, I think we would see at some stage in a replay, he's gone really low, almost cricket barrier-esque, a knee on the floor to create a bit more of a space to deny balls in close to the goal mouth.
Again, Yu to the right, Kang to the left. It's Yu once more, but the skipper's missed it. And it comes first time, but still alive. That's a wonderful trap. Pinner's beaten. Another penalty corner. Well, that's good improvisation from Korea because it broke down.
Well, broke down, missed trap. Player looks up, sees the slide across to their attacking left, the right defensively. Pinner goes out here well, just misses it slightly and then gets the edge. Just the wet pitch, he just overslides by only 20-30 centimetres, but it gives that space to get the ball across, lifted off his right glove.
Lee Nam-yong keeping the ball alive. And it comes again, Yu once more. This time they stop it again. That was off Fox, was it not?
Corner, penalty corner. Thanks, mate.
So they get it now.
No referral needed, the umpires talking to each other. Dan Fox, he is A, so quick, and B, so brave. Gets on top of everything. And it comes to the top. Watch Fox when he comes into shot. This long drag, we talked about it pre-show, long drag and release. Fox there, right in front with his stick in front of his shins, denying the space to Pinner's left, so Pinner can focus on his right.
Ready, guys?
Here we go again. Another. Look, Yu gets it away. Pinner makes the save.
Super goalkeeping from Pinner, right hand into player.
As it hit Lee.
Well, it did hit him, which is why Raghu Prasad has said that it's a free hit, but they're claiming it was high off Pinner.
Okay, well, let's have a look.
David? Koreans are saying that the Thai, about the knee on the Thai, can you please check?
Sorry, can you say again?
So, Koreans are asking that the ball hit above the knee. Can you please check on the Thai?
High ball on the circuit.
Yes.
So we're looking to see if it's dangerous into the Korean player.
Onto the ground, and then, yeah, into his thigh.
Yeah, unfortunately for Great Britain, I don't think this will take a long time.
It's a good save from Pinner because it was a dipping ball in front of him.
Very, very good save. The corner striker's picked that up and ripped it around his body to create it down to Pinner's right-hand
I have a
side.
decision for you. It has hit the Korean high. It is a penalty corner, and they keep the referral.
There's another penalty corner. Pinner looks dejected, slumping back to his goal.
Yeah, you think Pinner's man lives on confidence. You would think he'd be bouncing around. It was an exceptional save in the first instance. It's unfortunate it's gone up off him, but there's nothing you can do with that as a goalkeeper. You just try and get something behind it.
So they've changed castles here, Korea at the top of the circle. Yu's now gone to the left, and Kang, as you can see, number 8 with the left leg of his short pitched up, is more in the centre of the goal.
We can go now, 40 seconds, we can go.
By Prasad walking back across the screen there is just make sure the defence and the attack know exactly what's going on. There'll be a whistle blow to start it.
So which castle do they go to here? It's Yu once more, and Fox once again. Another penalty corner. How long have we been down here giving penalty corners?
It's got to be a couple of minutes worth. And poor Dan Fox must have the most bruised feet on the planet. Good out and start, but it's a long way left. Fox takes a big step across, drives off his left to put his right foot in the line of the drag.
Ready, guys?
clock is stopped every time that a penalty corner is given, so no real time is lost to the game. You once more, they've gone for the change, they've gone round Fox, and this one is in. This one is in. Huang Tai-il, I think, gets the last touch in front of the goal, but they thought about it, Korea, they worked it out, and they took Fox out of the equation, and they get the result with an excellent goal. Pinner is beaten, Korea are back into it, Korea 1, GB 2.
Well, it's a classic zigzag, out, drag around the first runner, bounce in, now it's head first, but what a touch to finish it off. I think this comes off the Great Britain stick. Gleghorn attacks it now on his face, touch and then deflection. Is that a straight drag in, or is that a touch?
I think that might have gone all the way in. I'm not sure. We'll get confirmation of who gets the goal.
Oh, I don't know whether it went in straight.
Well, Yu is claiming the congratulations, and he has been credited with it. But it's game back on now, and well, with all those penalty corners, at some stage you're going to get one.
Well, it did feel like that, didn't it? There were so many opportunities. Dan Fox had charged everything down, and then you said it, Charlie. Basically, Korea just works it out. And I'm a little bit surprised that teams don't find that space behind the first runner a few more times.
So Korea get a foothold in the game. Now Great Britain need to respond. It's with Sloan, who looks for Weir. Weir has Condon in front of him, drops it out to Hoare, has Lewis to his left, and Martin. Here is Martin. Hoare. Lewis.
Great Britain need a back three. They've only got a back two. They need a right half. They're going to go back for a pivot.
Well, it's a very long ball that almost came off for Great Britain. You don't usually see teams playing those sort of passes. You say they just got short-handed at the back, Great Britain. Korea dominating this second quarter. Lee Nam-yong takes the free hit. That's a lovely looking pass. It's found Huang. Once more.
Sorry, Joe, superb bit of skill. Mikey Hoare was left exposed, though, one-on-one, and that's what Great Britain have really got to be careful about. They are in the ascendancy in terms of scoreline. They don't need to start throwing men forward.
Huang, tackled by Hoare. He's having another excellent game at the back for Great Britain. Kim. So Yu, the goal scorer. Yu gets a little deflection off Weir. Outside. Okay, let's have another look at this goal.
So look at Gleghorn dive at this. Does he get a touch? Where's the touch? Ah, it's off the Great Britain shot. It's off Middleton's stick. There was a touch in there somewhere. We knew that. It's Middleton's stick handle that changes the line of the flick.
So the goal goes to Yu. Hoare.
Oh, wow.
That is coolness personified there by Mikey Hoare. Lewis, wow, they've given the ball away here, Great Britain. Lee into the 23, a chance here, a real chance for Korea. How close does he want to come? They just didn't want to pull the trigger. It's still there for them if they want it. Oh, dearie me. Korea with a golden opportunity to get back on level terms, but he just didn't pull the trigger.
You're an international striker. How close do you want to get? There, foot through and smash it. You've changed your angles, you've got too close, the goalkeeper's into it. What a poor decision. In the end, all of a sudden, Huang should have just let that go.
But on the other end, Great Britain, it goes all the way across the circle. From Gleghorn, there was nobody there in red. And opportunities are plenty here, but none better than that falling to Huang Tai-il of Korea just a minute or so ago. How often do you get to walk into a circle unchallenged, and there were 7 other people in there?
Well, Lewis gave it away, yeah, absolutely. Lewis gave it away and had to step forward towards the ball carrier. He opened up his left foot because he led in on a forehand. The ball was popped in, it was exactly the right pass to Huang, but he just took so long. As soon as he got that, he should have been thinking, I just need to shoot. The middle of the circle's packed, put a stick through it.
Ball in, deflected up and over. Gleghorn sliding in, can't find the back of the net. From our angle, it looked very close, but we'll see from the replay from behind just how close it is.
Well, it's in the right place, and look again, the Korean defenders are getting a bit ball focused. Gleghorn able to get goal side unmarked.
So as the ball is played over to the right-hand side, I think we can go back to Mike Absalom.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Just here with Dan Shingles and Nick Catlin. Nick Catlin doesn't play today because he's got a right hamstring problem. Your thoughts on the game so far, though, Nick?
Yeah, pretty solid start. Disappointing to concede that corner a few minutes ago, but we've put into effect some of the stuff we talked about after the India game, and it paid dividends in that first quarter. So we just need to try and get back on track really and keep forcing the play forwards.
Dan, you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's great. It's a great atmosphere around, and it's so good to see, you know, so many kids come along and really enjoying themselves well. And I think when you're on the pitch, you can really notice that great atmosphere and the support that they're offering. And yeah, great start from the lads as well, and hopefully they can continue it in the game.
Thanks for your time.
Two players in that high-performance squad. Obviously, Catlin, as we heard, injured today. Dan Shingles, although he's not picked for the tournament here.
Well, it's important to keep a big squad, and I don't know exactly how many numbers they've got in that now. You'll probably be running something like a 23, 24-man squad at this moment in time, and they'll be looking towards that very final cut-down selection for the Olympics. But it's important you keep everybody involved, because you can pick up an injury at the very last minute, even when they get out to Rio. So everybody needs to be up to speed physically and mentally with what's happening around the group.
So meanwhile, we are, 2.5 minutes away from the half-time break, and Korea are looking for that leveller. Remember, they played 10 minutes of the first quarter with 10 players because of a 10-minute yellow.
Lewis forcing play again, needs to be a little less direct. It's all a bit straight line from him right now.
Lead to Seo. Seo into the circle it goes, and Lewis, well, he's got no outlet. He's got absolutely nothing in front of him in Lewis, so he plays it perpendicular to where he was, and it's a sideline ball for Korea. Here is Lee. Lee to Yu Sung-ju. Comes back to Lee Yun-chan. Middleton gets half a stick on it, and then falling over is Kim Joo-hun. Lee Daeol.
Keep it simple, easy.
Lee Yun-chan, well, that was...
Guessing wrong and passes straight off the side of the pitch. Lee had led up. I think he was looking for a ball close to the baseline so he could lead straight into the circle. The rotation completely undoing Korea.
Lewis on his own goal line gets a bit of pressure. Or loses out to Kim, who finds Yu, the skipper. The skipper fires it across the goal, and then coming in on the far post, I think, is Lee Yun-chan, who so nearly levels it up.
Oh, Great Britain put that all on themselves. You could see the ball coming across, space on the back post. Indeed, it should have been in the goal mouth. Pinner was there, players not really looking at the ball, needed to come across with his eyes on it.
It was actually by Jung-suk sliding into the far post, but he just ducked his head down.
Yeah, that's where you just have to square up to it, unfortunately, and just take it. If it hits you, and let the umpire make a decision. It goes in the goal, that's fine. Well, Great Britain, for me, in these last exchanges need to look longer. They need to go to the air, just find the corners. They're inviting pressure by turning over possession.
Well, they're sat so deep now. Front line was on the 23. And Yu Hyoi-sik. Fox has come out to put pressure on Yu Yang inside the final 10. They just need to rifle this into the circle, maybe get a penalty corner. Here it comes. Lewis on the top of the circle. Fortunately for Great Britain, Ames brings it away, and that'll be the half-time hooter. But alarm bells ringing for Great Britain towards the end of that second quarter. But they go into the break leading by 2-1. David Condon extending Great Britain's lead to 2-0 before Yu Sung-ju rifled one in from a penalty corner to make the half-time score. Korea 1, Great Britain 2. So Mike, I think, is now with David Condon.
Yeah, David got the second goal for Great Britain there. David, congratulations. Your assessment of the first half?
I think we started off well, but I think when we scored the second goal, I think we've slightly taken our foot off the gas, and that's really let them come back into this game. As you've seen, they've probably had the majority of the play going into half-time. So we'll look to go in, regroup, come out, and start like we started the first half.
See you in the second half.
Yeah, brilliant, thank you.
So GB lead by 2 goals to 1. They looked very comfortable indeed, but then started to give the ball away, and Korea found their way back into this match. So 2 goals to 1. GB, remember, must win this match, otherwise they can kiss the chance of winning this trophy goodbye. Welcome back to day 3 of the Hero Hockey Champions Trophy here at the Lee Valley Hockey and Tennis Centre. GB, desperate for a win against Korea, have had the better of the opening exchanges of the first half, going to a 2-goal lead. But they took their foot off the gas, and Korea have made their way back into it. So it is currently GB 2, Korea 1. And the stats probably reflect the first half performance. 2-1, obviously, shots on target. Korea surprisingly had a majority of those penalty corners. It was about 10 minutes worth of play of penalty corners. Korea really pushing GB just before the break there. Remember, plenty of hockey still to come this afternoon. Korea at GB has got another half to go. Then it's Germany against Australia, the Olympic champions against the #1 side team in the world. And then Belgium against India. India top of the group with Australia at the moment. That's pushback at 4 o'clock. Austin Smith, Cedric D'Souza with me. Cedric, assessment of that first half. GB losing their way towards the end, but have you been impressed?
Well, they started with a lot of aggression and intensity right from the whistle. They put a lot of pressure on the ball, and the goals that they've got today were basically going around the defense and then firing the balls inside. Okay, they got their PCs, they got their penalty stroke, but it was always going around the defense, not going direct.
Yeah, a lot of criticism possibly of their performance against India, that they didn't look sharp enough in the attacking half. Improvements today, do you see, Austin?
Well, certainly in the first quarter. I think the first quarter they were really good. I think the biggest thing that they'll be pleased about is that they've scored a field goal. Their first field goal, and that's obviously very important to create some of those, especially if your corner men aren't firing. At this stage, they haven't had very many chances, but certainly in the first quarter, much better.
Well, let's have a look at the goals. The first goal, a P flick. I don't think anybody's got any question about this. This is definitely a penalty flick, right?
Oh yeah, the way Barry Milton receives this and comes around the goalkeeper, yeah, there's absolutely no doubt there for the umpire. And Ashley Jackson steps up, and really, he doesn't miss many. And that kind of ball, yeah, that's just unstoppable. That's absolute class. He's rocketed that into the corner.
And then the second goal, as you say, their first goal in open play, it looked as if they were sharper, much sharper in their passing, great movement.
Well, the most important thing was Barry Middleton. When he had that ball, he was pressed. He held that ball for a couple of seconds, played the ball to Ho, drove the Korean defense into him, and then played the lovely pass down to Ames, who ran down directly, looked up, played a diagonal pass, and a diving come down straight into the net, past the defender, beautiful goal, all the way through a team effort.
And we wondered then whether GB would then just take a bit of a breather and really build on it, but they've taken a breather and really lost the intensity.
Yeah, well, the first quarter they played for much of that first quarter with a man extra, and really in the second quarter, when the Korean player came back onto the field, yeah, they seemed to struggle a bit. Really, Korea had, I think, 7 corners at one stage after one another, and really they didn't. GB struggled to get the ball out there in half.
Yeah, they were literally camped in the D for ages there. Yeah. Penalty corner after penalty corner. GB defended well, but eventually the dam breaks, right?
Well, you know, if you look at that penalty corner, it's a beautiful zigzag pass. He eludes the first runner, Fox, gets a beautiful return. He's pressed. Yu is pressed by both Gleghorn and Lewis, but he flicks that ball, falling onto the ground. It hits the postie by Middleton and goes into the top corner of the net. The main thing was the sustained pressure. They kept on it, and GB giving easy turnovers in the last quarter.
Well, let's see what the message is from the GB camp. I think Mike is with the coach.
Yeah, thanks very much, Chris. Bobby, what was the message at half-time?
Yeah, just if the Koreans are going to continue to press high and try and go all man-to-man all over the pitch, we've just got to be better at some of our repositioning to make life difficult for them, and then obviously capitalise on the opportunities if we are if they're having to defend the whole pitch, then we've got space to play in. And actually, we showed it with the second goal. With some of our play on the ball, obviously, meant we turned it over too often, and they put us under some pressure as well in that second quarter.
Great to have that second goal on the board, but a real sense there at the end of the first half that you were hanging on.
Yeah, well, we just had to defend too much. We weren't actually we gave away some silly penalty corners, and we actually just didn't play enough good passes out of the pressure. I think we'll do that in the second half.
Good luck.
Thank you.
It's interesting listening to Simon Mason saying they were forcing it a little bit from the back. I mean, there was one great chance towards the end. It could have been 2-2.
Yeah, I think GB can count themselves lucky to be 2-1 ahead. There was a good chance there, that last one. I don't think we've got any video footage of it now, but really a good chance. And that ball deflected.
This is what I mean. They're trying to force their way out. They're under pressure, Cedric, and this is a great chance.
Well, you know, when you're in your last quarter and a couple of seconds to go, you got to play it safe. Get the ball away, get it out of the system completely, and make sure you keep the back door closed.
Cedric, Austin, thank you very much. Let's join our commentary team then. Simon Mason and Charlie Broom.
Well, as we see that opportunity for by Young Suk towards the end of the second half, Great Britain got away with that one, and they learnt their lessons for this second period of the match. Well, the crowd are loving it. It's a really good atmosphere inside the Lee Valley Hockey Intensity Centre. Lots of school children in today, and it's Great Britain who get us underway. They lead this must-win game by 2-1 against Korea, but they were on the back foot towards the end of the first half and need to reassert themselves on this match. I mean, we were talking there, Simon, about their good performance in the first quarter, but they played it with a man extra for 2/3 of it.
Well, absolutely, Charlie, and if you've got that much space, then you should look as dominant as Great Britain did. In the latter stages, they just seemed to lose a little bit of focus. They're playing high-risk balls that they didn't need to play, and that's when that balance, that composure, that experience, you'd expect to see Jackson and Middleton and Lewis dictating play a little bit more. It just got a little bit random, for want of a better word.
Jackson with the ball on the far side. There's Great Britain coach Bobby Crutchley. Dixon. So, Lewis. Sit back. There's Paul Lisek, the Korean manager. Watching up from the stand behind the Korean goal currently. And here come Korea down this right-hand flank. And it's 16. There is Song Seung-tae, the Korean coach. Part of the squad that, Simon, you mentioned, won silver at the Sydney Olympic Games back in 2000. Remember that final? It was 3-1 up, 5 minutes to go. I thought it was job done. The Dutch are going to win this. Popped out of the shop by a pint of milk, came back, it was 3-all. 2 goals in the 66th minute by Korea. Went to a shootout, and Song Seung-tae scored Korea's first goal that day, but he was the one that missed the flick in the shootout. Korea losing by 5-4. Stefan Veen, the Dutch player, scored a hat-trick and the winning stroke to give the Dutch the goal. What a match for him, but yeah, it's a bittersweet moment though for Song Seung-tae, the Korean coach here today.
Well, everybody expected the Pakistanis to be in that final with the Dutch, because the Pakistanis took on Korea in the semi-final.
As Yu shows good coolness under pressure from Fox.
Fox, how did Fox sprint backwards and then manage to get a stick on top of that?
Middleton has Brogdon outside him. Middleton down the middle, and here goes Condon playing it towards the goal. It falls to Brogdon. Brogdon across the face. A goal! It's gone in off the keeper.
Goalkeeper Hong has had an absolute stinker.
It's come off his left pad, I think. Not that Ali Brogdon will mind too much, because he's reasserted Great Britain's 2-goal cushion.
Well, a moment ago it was almost a tip-in. It was almost a tip-in. Watch this as it comes in from Mantel to start with. There's a tip-in goalkeeper has to save. Then he gets a little bit carried away as it comes across from Brogdon. It's hit his left pad and gone in. It's a dreadful bit of goalkeeping. You can see what he's trying to do, deny the pass to the far post, but has edged it into his own net.
Sam Ward was the man behind him, and Hong Du-Pyu has rather unwittingly given Great Britain a 3rd goal. Korea 1, Great Britain 3. Britain now have the sideline ball, which Fox will take. Well, Great Britain will take whatever they can get right here, and that really does help them out massively, doesn't it, Simon?
Yeah, it just takes a little bit of the pressure off. All of a sudden that they can now relax a little bit, feel a little less stressed on the balls. They don't need to force it as they were doing at the end of that first half, and suddenly they can start to be a little more expressive without that fear of conceding as soon as they give away ball.
Pressure on from Middleton, who continues to press, and here is Huang. And Ji-Hoon plays it to that left-hand flank, and here is Ba Young-suk, who had that excellent opportunity at the end of the first half to make it 2-2, but only deflected and cross over the goal. Lee cuts in field, Ames gets a little touch on it. Middleton and Jackson trying to rob the ball back, but Bay now has it.
It's now 6-on-5, Charlie. Sorry, Korea's quick counter-attack.
Well, they've now flung it over to the left-hand side. An opportunity here for Korea into the circle, off the foot surely, but they play on.
I know, I've seen the foot, I was playing advantage. I know, I was playing advantage. Guys, do you want to go for a video?
Now, Korea need to learn. Korea need to learn. This is going to be an interesting call, because the umpire said, I've seen the foot and I've played advantage.
So, there was a foot on the top of the D, but I was playing advantage. Can you please check if it was good enough to score a goal, or the penalty corner is better? Thanks.
Okay, so I'm checking for a fair advantage.
Exactly.
Fair advantage. Wow, that's interpretation. This will be a huge call. Umpire Tomlinson decides that he's going to overrule this. Eko Meslik was on the ground. He said he's seen the foot as it hits here, as it comes in. There's no dispute the foot. That could be a penalty corner, but he's now perceived that that is enough of an opportunity to be considered a fair advantage.
Well, yeah, that's a difficult one.
Yeah, go ahead.
For me, there's no clear advantage there, so award a penalty corner.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Which is fair enough, because there was not a clean shot away. Pinner wasn't called into action, so you can see why it's been allowed.
You can't refer a referral. Lewis isn't too happy, but everybody else in the red shirt is just getting on with it, and I think that tells you what they feel about it. There wasn't really a clear advantage.
There wasn't. As a player, if you look at it and try and be rational, then you're in a situation where all of a sudden you go, well, you know what, I'm unhappy about the process, as Lewis is, but he's a fighter, he's a competitor, he's not going to give away an inch. He doesn't need to.
So, the top of the circle, just Kang. He's to the right. And lining up also Yang to his left. So Yang to his left, Kang to the right. It's gone to Yang, and it's cleared off the line by Middleton. Middleton again on that left post of George Pinner's goal. Getting a stick on the ball to divert it away, but here it comes again. That is not far away from the post. We were right on that trajectory, and that missed the post by a fraction.
Well, out to the top, and they're trying to exploit Pinner's left-hand side. I think this gets a touch. Yes, it is Middleton. That's brilliant, because he's hooked it or edged it underneath his back foot. So no re-award penalty corner either. Well done, the captain.
Sliding interception. Sideline ball for Great Britain. Weir now leads it for Fox. Lewis to Hoare. Been kept in. And Martin takes the free hit. Spinning is Mantell. Still going Mantell. And then he and Gleghorn kind of get in each other's way.
It's a brilliant bit of skill from Mantell. Look at that turn, reverse pivot, and he's round all of a sudden in space. He's got his eyes up, leaves it for Gleghorn. Oh, does he leave it, or does Gleghorn just swing through it? But I think it was the right choice on the forehand from Gleghorn to have a go.
Kang, near side, Kim Hyungjin. Martin.
Well, this is where actually Great Britain got great opportunity earlier on when Middleton carried the ball and they created the second goal from it, when Korea stepped high to try and put pressure. Great Britain just got to handle the ball well, because Korea have got so many men forward. If they get a touch, they'll have a numerical advantage.
That is a disguised pass from Gleghorn. And down the line, and across the park to Martin. Kang tries to go past Gleghorn. Gleghorn penalised. Bay with the free hit. And moving up that left flank is Kim, but they don't go to him just yet. The centre of midfield, where on the reverse stick, Jung plays it straight up the park, and Adam Dixon intercepts and brings it forward. Finds Sloan. Sloan has Mantell in front. Here is Mantell. Mantell driving to the circle, wins the free hit off Lee Dayul.
Mantell would probably have preferred the advantage as he carried that ball. He just took it to the air, so as soon as you get the ball up off the turf, makes it really, really hard to get a clean tackle in as a defender. He took it up, changed direction on it, and was accelerating into the circle when the whistle went.
Jackson, a little pirouette. Has all of three in front of him, but Jackson with a lovely bit of skill. Jackson now has a corridor in which to run into. Jackson into the circle, plays it to the right-hand side. Dixon Kong bringing under control the first time of asking. That's ball across, up off the Korean defender. Condon swinging, almost trying to deflect it in on the volley. But Ashley Jackson, wonderful piece of skill.
Exceptional as Jackson runs forward. Look at the change of pace as he finds space. That's a beautiful tuck into his feet. Now his eyes are up, he accelerates. This pop, it deserved a volleyed finish. Unfortunately, Dixon deciding not to swing because it was a more sensible option. Great Britain getting the corner award, but it's a lovely little movement as he tucks under his feet to change direction. The ball moves so quick the cameras can't keep up, and he goes and finds that pass.
Up off Lee Nam Yong. Gleghorn nearest to us, our camera. Jackson the other side. It's come to Gleghorn along the ground, and Hong makes a comfortable save. Ball far back in, it's in the air. Oh, a reaching stick from Yu rescues the situation for Korea. That was fingertip defending from the Korean.
Korea getting the free hit as Great Britain obstruct two players crossing over, so called third man obstruction when the umpire crosses his arms like that.
If Great Britain can find the next goal, that would really help their cause. They don't want to have that nervous 3-2 scoreline.
Well, how many times, Charlie, have we stood and watched games when it does go to 3-2 and all of a sudden you can feel there's a definite change of momentum, definite change of atmosphere as the team goes, you know what, we're back in touch, we can do this. And the team, even with the one-goal lead, just start to sit back and get a little bit tight.
Well, you saw that with Belgium-Germany on day 2 in the pouring rain. Belgium leading 4-2 into the final quarter. Germany get one, then they get the other, and they looked like they were going to go on and win it. But Belgium managed to hold out in the end. Get the draw.
That's a superb bit of forward defence from Dan Fox. He's stepped in front of his opponents to just cut the ball out in the intercept. Great Britain need to continue to do that. Korea need to do it to players such as Mantell. If they're going to deny the ball to them, if you let players of this calibre get the ball and receive it, they're going to cause trouble.
Good defensive work from Sloan.
It's here.
Good, wasn't it?
Good, thanks. Enough, good.
In the
Enough.
right place. That's good enough. Sloan clears to Gleghorn. Lewis. Martin gets it back from Sloan, and Korea again with a high press. You can see on the screen 4 or 5 players on that line trying to put pressure on that Great Britain defence.
Thank you.
Great Britain have been in front throughout this one. Into the first goal.
You'd feel now that the Korean coaching staff are going to have to look possibly at something different to create more numbers. Yes, they have that great defensive structure we've talked about on a number of occasions.
Middle into Mantell, and Mantell thumps the ground in frustration that he can't get on the end of it. It was a difficult pass to get on the end of, in fairness. It was a little bouncing bomb.
Great creativity from Middleton. Knew that the ball wouldn't get through if it went flat, had to take it to the air. Mantell got on his hip to get his body shape correct.
Condon, I think, is he going to pick up a card yet? Condon picks up. Someone's picked up a card. Mantell, is it?
That's a Korean card.
Korean?
Yeah, we thought it was one of the Great Britons. But it looks like it's Yun who's picked up a green card.
Indeed it is. Dixon can't keep it in. Number 7, Young Manje, the 2-minute rest.
But a moment ago we saw Dixon mistrap that ball as it went off the left, but what we didn't see in shot was that Dan Fox actually put his hands to his head and then apologised to Adam Dixon. As a player pushes the ball forward, if you just put too much right hand into it, you open the face of the stick and lift it. There was no need to lift that ball to Dixon. It could have been flat, and Dan Fox knew that the reason for the mistrap was his fault.
Seo fired it across and ushered behind by Dixon. Comes Lewis, keeps it out of the circle. Brogdon has Ward in front of him, leaves it for Lewis. Lewis to Ward now. Ward, what can he do here? Ward trying to turn Yang. Ward on the reverse stick, and the old head of Seo Jong-ho gets it behind for a Great Britain long corner. Fox slapping it into the circle. Ward with a swing and a miss came to Brogdon. One of the Korean defenders has received a bang. It's Yu. I think he picked up the swinging stick.
Yeah, the ball gets popped in. It's great from Lewis to see the switch across the pitch as it comes in. Ward steps in and swings, just cracks it round the thigh of Yu.
Thank you.
It's the right attempt, nothing wrong with that. He's a classic centre forward, but that is going to hurt.
Yu runs it off by running to the sideline, and Great Britain apply the pressure while Korea short-handed round the back. That's a great take from Dixon. Brilliant hand-eye coordination on the reverse stick. Finds Jackson. Jackson only has a forward pass to play. Finds Slow. Lovely touch by Ian Slow. Looking for the deep.
That's got to be corner.
Which is Middleton, and Simon Mason saying it's got to be a corner, by which he means a short corner for deliberately playing the ball off the back of the park.
Yeah, it's going to be classified as a deflection, so umpire Prasad not going to give it, the players aren't going to appeal for it, but if you look where that ball's going to go, there was only one place where that ball could have gone. The momentum of the player, just being picky.
Fox. And again, Korea presses a 4-man unit at the top, going man-to-man on the Great Britain defence, and proving difficult, and Middleton trying to keep it in play, gives it away, and now it's a 2-on-2, and now it's a 2-on-1. Lovely bit of individual skill. Here's a chance! Pinner, good save. It's still in the danger zone though, on the reverse stick. Can they get the shot away? Jackson brings it out, but desperate defending by Great Britain preserves their 2-goal lead, and Pinner with a crucial save.
Pinner using every inch of his frame. There's a little touch inside, it falls for him, he goes big there. That's good to go from left foot to left arm. Great core strength. He goes left foot and then he drops his body, gets the forearm of his left forearm down in the way. Class goalkeeper from Pinner hasn't had very much to do, showing that he's alert. But again, Charlie, that goes back to the reason it got there is because Jackson tried to force a long ball down the pitch. Twice at the end of the first half, we saw Lewis do it. There's no need for Great Britain to try and do the crash ball.
Slow. As we count down to the 3/4 time hooter, aims to Dixon. Dixon throws it forward. Well, they just played the hooter there. Korea almost guilty of thinking time was up, but Great Britain have scored a goal in every quarter, and in the third quarter, the scorer was Alistair Brogdon, and in doing so, they've extended their lead back up to 2 with 15 minutes left to play. It's Korea 1, Great Britain 3. Well, Simon, extraordinary. I mean, we go back to that World Cup in 2014, Great Britain playing against Australia, coming up to half-time. Great Britain switched off as we have a look at the goal coming in. Brogdon from an impossible angle. Decent first save from Hong.
Very good first save from Hong, then all of a sudden just gets his legs caught up. All of his balance is on his left foot. You can see the left knee drops, so the body weight's wrong. He's tried to bring his right foot to the ball, can't get there, and it's that inside edge that creates that 2-goal lead for Great Britain.
Yeah, just getting to the end, it was what Mark Knowles throwing that aerial for half the pitch, and Kieran Gubbers finishing it off.
It's an exceptional goal right at the end. The Australians didn't give up on it, and in that moment there, I just wondered as the clock ticked down, the crowd were calling it, was Sam Ward going to get the 2 seconds he needed to knock it in?
It was very close, it was very close. Well, Polasek, we're hoping it's not over for Korea should they lose here today, but it does make life rather difficult for them. They would need to win their 2 remaining games and hope some other results went their way. The crowd are loving themselves here. And, it's good to see, good atmosphere.
Very good atmosphere, and these kids have come in. I think there's been a programme that England and Great Britain Hockey have run to bring local school kids in, offering packages and all sorts, just to expose more people to this sport.
Here we go then, final 15 minutes. Great Britain get us underway. Leading by 3-1, and let's hear from the Great Britain bench now with Mike Absalom.
Yeah, thanks, Charlie. Here with Adam Dixon, 3-1 up, a goal in every quarter, and there's 15 minutes to go. What can we expect in the final quarter?
Well, we've got to keep attacking. It's kind of our best form of defence. We've got to keep taking it to them. It's hard work. You've got to run hard, but you know, this is when it's won or lost in the final quarter. Anything can happen.
A much better performance in that third quarter.
Yeah, I think so. We just played, stick to our game plan, which is get the ball, go run hard and get it back again, and just keep working with each other.
Back to the action, thank you.
Wow, you joined us at a good time because Condon fires and Condon scores! 4-1. Condon is second of the game. A 4th for Great Britain, 1 in every quarter. And Great Britain firmly in control of this match now. Attack being the best form of defence. You can't argue with an attack like that down the left-hand side.
Well, Adam Dixon called it. It is indeed. It's a lovely little ball in down the left foot. Condon does really well to get it away from Hong. Hong never resets. That's right by his right foot. Again, beating the goalkeeper in a position where he should save that. His weight's on his back feet. You can see in the replay, he just falls away from the ball. As soon as he got caught at the top of his circle, he was out of shape.
So, Korea 1, Great Britain 4, but what also is important here, now that they look like they're going to get the win, is to try and score goals, because goal difference could also be very key to where you finish up in the table. As we've already mentioned on a number of occasions, just the top 2 go into the gold medal match, so it's just as important not to concede as it is to score, as Korea look for a second. And now that miss by Bae Yong-suk at the end of the first half when he deflected wide, proves very costly.
Very costly indeed. You look at a tournament here, the teams are of such high quality. I don't think there is a surefire result in any match. So teams will take points off each other, and you're absolutely right, Charlie. Those goals scored are going to count, so Great Britain have to keep pushing, turning the screws.
Condon now doing a defensive job as the ball is spread to this right-hand side. Kang Won-gyu into the circle, and up off Lewis.
Lewis going wide of goal from our angle. It's easy to see whether it was from Jakub Meslik's angle. You can see that it hits the body of Lewis. Wasn't a shot on goal, that's the question.
They don't have a referral, here it comes.
Oh, we won't see off that angle, but there's a touch in front of Lewis that then hits his elbow. But is that touch that lifts it? Does that mean it's going wide, or is it off his own stick?
Lewis is arguing his case. Jakub Meslik has made up his mind. Now, Yang is number 6, and Kang is number 8. Kang is to the right of the two that are crouched at the back. It's gone to the other castle. Fox gets there. Long corner. Another great run from Dan Fox. Put in the miles, just running out at number 1.
He's got to be amongst the top 1 or 2 number 1 penalty corner defence runners in the world at the moment. The number of touches Dan Fox gets on the ball is truly exceptional. I'm pretty sure if that hadn't hit his stick and hit his body, it would have been classified as high anyway, because to me it looked like it hit near to his left hand. But he's running such a tight line. He puts his right foot near that penalty spot, and he's there, stick in front of body, absolutely up in the air with the rest of the Korean team looking for rebounds.
Jungman Jae, number 7, could have worn it had Fox not got it.
Well, I think they might be trying to obscure Pinner's view. It is something that some teams do. What they'll do is they'll send a runner right in the line of the goalkeeper. There's nothing wrong with that as long as they're far enough away it's not considered third man obstruction. The goalkeeper then just has to shift their body position.
Long corner, just got a touch off Lee Dae-yeol inside the defensive Korean quarter. Aims for Lewis. Lewis called down the line, looking for Middleton, cut out by Lee Nam-yong. Lee.
We see just going across the middle of the shot there, Dan Fox running back into the heart of the pitch, and that's crucial for Great Britain's defence. If they get tagged up one-on-one at the back, then they will concede chances. Maybe not goals, but chances.
And some lovely skill from Lee Nam-yong to get out of that tight situation and play the ball across the park. Oh, here he is again. Lee Nam-yong. Kang trying to find Lee. Middleton just runs a stick over the ball. There you go, you see Korea dominating the possession. But when it comes to circle penetrations,
sliding tackle.
Great Britain, so it doesn't matter how much of the ball you have, it's what you do with it. Into Lee.
Well, now look though, Korea have got 5 men in their own defensive half. They need to be more aggressive. They've got to go to a back 3.
Well, they haven't got any midfield.
Correct, they've got to keep the width, so they need those 2 of those back 5 far higher.
Well, down the left-hand flank they go, but it's run out of play.
Good.
Okay, also let's remind you what's coming up later today. Germany, Australia. Hang on, let's have a look. Weir fires it in. Good save, it's still with Weir. And they've got it clear. So Germany, Australia coming up at 2 o'clock local time. That's just over 40 minutes away. The reigning Olympic champions Germany up against the World Cup champions Australia. And then Belgium, who are in a similar position to Great Britain, have to beat India in the final matchup of the day, as Hong gets it clear.
Well, and that's what Hong was trying to do on the Condon goal. He was trying to step a left foot into the path of the pass, got his body weight wrong and knocked it into his own net. But it's good, more dominant goalkeeping from Hong in the Korean net.
Lewis gets his stick there.
Again, Korea bizarrely still got 5 and 6 men. 5 men, particularly in that midfield forward line. They're not throwing enough people through the midfield to trouble Great Britain. Great Britain can sit fairly compact because there's nobody running through those midfield lines.
They're trying to blur them a little bit now, Korea. Leghorn now applies the pressure. It's easily circumvented by a little triangle. Now Jackson's coming out to apply pressure. And really, they've got to go as a unit, Great Britain. Korea, here's the skipper. Yu, still going Yu.
No, play.
Play on. Foot. Dixon. And Korea are going to refer.
I'm not in, sorry.
Nothing, okay.
Agu Prasad.
Foot here,
to
inside
help.
the so corner. Good. Tamo, are you there?
Go ahead.
Korea is asking for penalty corner for the foot inside the D. Can you check it for me, please?
Okay, so I'm looking for a foot inside the circle.
Correct.
So, foot inside the circle.
Just looks scrappy to start with.
Was that hand not on the stick? Below knee.
Well, if that's it, that's hand. But look where the white line is, because from that you can't tell whether the ball. To me, you can't tell how far forward the hand is. So yes, it hits that. We'll need to see a different angle to see how far the hand is inside the circle, if at all. There's no doubt it did hit the hand, which is a foul. So there is contact, but at this moment in time, you can't tell where that contact is, whether it's inside the circle. To me, that looks like the ball then pops down into the D, but we need to get different angles.
Yeah, go ahead.
I
Surely.
have a decision for you. It has hit the foot inside the circle. It is a penalty corner.
Well, foot, hand, it's hitting a part of the body inside the circle.
Okay, I've got to go.
Well, I think most of the body's inside the circle. But then again, it's like if you stop the ball outside the goal line and your body's in the goal, it's not a goal, is it? So
exactly, I mean, that's my point, is if you're looking for the technology, you need to be able to have a decisive, to me, the interpretation is it has to be specific. You have to have a reason to change that. Did we see enough in that to say that, yep, it hit what looked like a hand, foot, doesn't matter, but was it actually inside the D? We never got a side-on view.
Well, it's a chance here for Korea. You now back on the park. He is the middle of the two. From the right, when we cut back, it's gone to the other side, and this time it's Gleghorn. And Gleghorn wins a free hit. It's hit his hand on the stick. So I think everyone will feel justice has been done, and we can't bring it under control, and it's a free hit to Korea. Kang.
Just shows in our pre-show we were talking about the Korean penalty corner defence. But you look at how well Great Britain have defended those Korean corners. Well, I think Tinner's had to make one save so far, something like that.
Well, not only the Korean corners, they were exceptional against Australia in the opening match as well. So they've really worked hard on that facet of the game. And you can see, here are the defending champions trophy holders. Germany, the reigning Olympic champions. Here are the world #1 team, the Kookaburras of Australia. Dixon. On the right side to Martin.
Flag! Line ball.
Germany has shown great tenacity in this tournament so far. Twice they've come from 2 goals down in the final quarter to snatch a draw.
The one against Belgium in the most unbelievable circumstances here.
Here is Sloan. Sloan, first time across. That's an important touch by Kim Hyung-jin.
Your stick should be down, inside there. Okay, whatever it is. Stick, dangerous. Okay? Easy.
So, the free hit can now be taken. Here is Kim. Yang, oh, and a poor touch by Yu. And it's been turned over. Opportunity knocks Condon with a chance of a hat-trick. No, couldn't find the pass. Henry Weir.
Great steal from Weir. He drives out. He sees Condon cutting inside. He goes down the left foot of the defender. I think that's the right pass given where defender Lee was.
Boys, simple,
Kim.
simple.
Lee. To Kim. Just under 6 minutes of this final quarter. Great Britain leading by 4 goals to 1 in a match that they have to win, and they look like they are going to win.
And still happily to aggressively hunt when the ball goes around the back. Korea with that back three. Mantell and Gleghorn doing some shuttling up front. Just trying to put pressure on the ball carriers. Mantell came out there to the left-hand side. That's when you get dividends in the next line back, or even your defensive line. Force a player to try and hit it too quickly. Hands are in the wrong place. Ball gets lifted. Possession turned over.
Here is Jackson. Jackson again. Little look up, decides that Ames is the best pass and finds Ames. Ames down the line, cut out by Kim. One back by Martin. There's Jackson behind him, then Martin crowded out. Bay down the line. Sio still going. Good work from Sio into the circle. And it's a long corner.
Great cover defending from Dixon, because Sio had absolutely taken, what, 3 or 4 Great Britain defenders to the cleaners as he burst in through the circle. And Dixon on a full sprint just knocks the ball away.
Lewis doesn't get the call that he wanted from umpire Meslick. He needs to come a little bit further to his right, but umpire's happy from where he's taken it. Ball fired in, chance, no. Or comes across to clear. It was Kim Jong-ho who'd gone to ground.
It's an absolutely crashed ball in from that left-hand side. Incredibly difficult skill to execute. You have to see where the rotation of the stick has to be absolutely perfect. If you're going to get that leading edge to the ball, sometimes there's a little hint that it's back sticks rather than leading edge.
Mantell leaves it for Martin. Martin into the circle, and well, that is, well, I was going to say good defending from Kim, somehow keeping his feet out of the equation. Middleton goes aerial, looking at Raghu Prasad, but doesn't get anything for it.
I think that's right for Prasad. There was no danger when the ball came down. He got a little lift, I think got the top edge to lift it that much from Middleton. Look at his preparation, look at his desire to win the ball back with, what, 2 minutes 55 seconds, 4-1 up, and he's still happy to lead by example as skipper. Step up, put pressure on.
Lee. Overall, Bobby Crutchley will be pretty happy. The second half certainly been better. I think maybe Korea losing that man in the first quarter through Great Britain in the second quarter, because they'd played most of that first quarter against a player less.
Absolutely, and you can. There's so many nuances to that, to what that means. It gives you a little more space, but changes how you see things tactically. Then the fatigue kicks in the latter stage of the game. They certainly set Great Britain up well, and they've minimised the number of mistakes over the course of the game that we did see creeping in just every now and again.
Mantell leaves it to Jackson inside the final 2. Jackson goes aerial, Ward in front of him if the ball is missed, but you make sure that that doesn't happen.
You look at the Korean body language now down beneath commentary position. Players walking into spaces from Korea. Certainly been made to work hard by Great Britain. They've just handled the ball that little bit more, a little bit better. They've not given Korea the chance to really break on the counter through those central and high positions. And when they have, they've not really got the support for the ball carrier.
Well, Korea on the attack inside the final 80 seconds. It's important for Great Britain that they don't concede. Yu wins the free hit. Ames just putting the ball back in. It comes too high.
Well, that's the difficulty as soon as you get a backhand. Yes, because of the technical nature of the strike, if you hit with that leading edge, with the way the carbon fiber's laid up, you will get more power, but it just is so easy to cut under the ball and lift it.
Here's Gleghorn. Gleghorn trying to find Ward. Ward will turn and try and make it back. Ward has kept possession. Ward wanting the foot, doesn't get it. Here's Middleton. Final 40 seconds. Middleton buys himself some space and now injects the pace. Middleton still going into the circle. Middleton, can he get the shot away? He can, but it's a good save. What an piece of fine individual skill from Barry Middleton, the Great Britain and England captain. Absolutely superb sign. You mentioned it as Desire a moment ago. Here's another example.
Oh, he just picks it up. He's got nowhere to go. He goes through two players. Body shape gives him balance. Dinks it into there. Fires it in. Low hands. Really quick whip. But the goalkeeper doing well. And Middleton even finding time to congratulate the keeper for the save.
The crowd count down. And now they can celebrate. Great Britain have the win that they desperately needed. It was very touch and go for the first half, but they dominated the second half. Goals in every quarter for Great Britain. Jackson, Brogdon and 2 for Condon, 1 from you for Korea. And Great Britain are still alive in this Champions Trophy, but they need to keep on winning. Jakub Meslik and Ian Lewis just having a good conversation there. I think they had their disagreements in that second half, but Great Britain have got a platform on which to build now, and they have to kick on. The full-time score in the opening match on match day 3 reads Korea 1, Great Britain 4.